In the town of Silver Lake, mornings always begin with the scent of freshly baked bread wafting through the air, most of which comes from Jack's bakery. Jack is a hard-working and optimistic baker whose small shop, though modest, is a favorite among the townsfolk. Today, like any other day, Jack is busy baking fresh bread and pastries, a smile ever present on his face. "Good morning, Jack. What's special today?" Tom, the town's mailman, asked as he sipped on Jack's coffee. "Today's chocolate croissants are particularly delicious. Want to try one?" Jack replied with a grin, handing over a steaming croissant. As Jack and Tom chatted, a mysterious man in a sharp suit and sunglasses walked into the shop. He looked around before heading straight to the counter. "Are you Jack?" the mysterious man asked in a deep voice. Jack was taken aback but nodded. "Yes, I am, and you are?" "I'm Richard, a lawyer." Richard removed his sunglasses, revealing a serious expression. "I have important news for you. Do you have a moment?" Confused, Jack asked Tom to watch the shop for a while and led Richard to the back room. Richard took out a document from his briefcase and handed it to Jack. "This is the will of your distant relative, Henry. Before he passed away, he left a substantial inheritance for you. The amount is $50 billion. $50 billion? Jack's eyes widened in shock, nearly dropping the document. "Yes, but there's a condition," Richard continued. "You must spend $10 billion within 6 months to prove your ability to manage large sums of money, or the entire amount will be donated to charity." Jack was speechless for a moment, trying to process the information. He had dreamed of many ways to get rich, but never imagined an opportunity like this would come his way. Richard then explained the terms and conditions of the will in detail, and Jack finally regained his composure. "So I can do anything with the money?" Jack asked cautiously. "Of course, as long as it's within legal bounds," Richard replied. "But I suggest you start quickly because 6 months is not a lot of time." After seeing Richard out, Jack sat in the back room, his mind racing. He decided to share the news with his best friend, Mike. Mike was always full of quirky ideas, and maybe he could help. "Mike, can you believe it? I suddenly became a billionaire," Jack said excitedly as he dialed Mike's number. At first, Mike thought Jack was joking, but after hearing the detailed explanation, he too became excited. "That's amazing, Jack. We need to come up with a spending plan right away. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity." So Jack and Mike began brainstorming, thinking of every possible way to spend $10 billion in 6 months. They decided to start with the simplest luxuries, like buying luxury cars and mansions, but quickly realized that spending money this way was too slow. Jack stood at the entrance of his newly acquired mansion, looking at the rows of luxury cars, but he didn't feel the satisfaction he had imagined. Although he had already spent millions, he was still far from the goal of $10 billion. Mike was standing next to him, scratching his head, constantly thinking of crazier ideas. "Jack, we need to speed things up. How about we throw an unprecedented grand party and invite the entire town of Silver Lake to join us? We could give away extravagant gifts like crazy." Mike's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Great idea. We can give away all kinds of luxury items. That should help us spend money much faster." Jack nodded in agreement. They quickly began planning the grand party. Jack rented the largest event center in town, hired the top chefs and servers, and ordered a large quantity of expensive champagne and gourmet food. That evening, all the residents of Silver Lake were invited and eagerly attended the event. The event center was brilliantly lit, filled with laughter and chatter. Jack and Mike, dressed in custom-made high-end suits, mingled through the crowd, continuously handing out luxurious gifts, high-end watches, designer bags, the latest electronic gadgets, and even lavish vacation packages. "Wow, Jack, you are incredibly generous!" the townspeople exclaimed with joy, thanking Jack for his generosity. Despite the extravagance, the party only managed to spend a few $1,000,000. Jack and Mike realized they needed even crazier ideas to spend money quickly. "We need to invest in projects that are guaranteed to lose money," Mike suggested, "like that failing pet store in town." "Brilliant!" Jack clapped his hands in delight. "We can take over the pet store, give it a lavish makeover, buy the most expensive pet supplies, and host all sorts of events." Jack and Mike decided to take over the failing pet store in town, hoping to lose money quickly through extravagant investments and absurd management. They gave the pet store a complete makeover, painting the exterior in gold, laying red carpets inside, and even installing crystal chandeliers. Jack also brought in a renowned pet grooming expert from abroad to provide customized grooming services for each pet. "We need to make this place so luxurious and absurd that no one would want to come," Mike said confidently. However, things did not go as planned. The pet store, with its luxurious decor and unique services, quickly attracted a massive number of customers. Pet owners from all over town flocked to the store, making its business boom. Instead of losing money, Jack and Mike found themselves making a fortune. "This is a complete disaster," Jack sighed, looking at the never-ending stream of customers in the store. "Don't worry, Jack, we still have a backup plan," Mike reassured him. "We can invest in a movie project that looks like it has no potential." They found a low-budget sci-fi movie directed by a rookie, with a terrible script. Jack and Mike decided to invest heavily in the film, hoping it would flop. However, when the movie was released, its poor special effects and ridiculous plot unexpectedly captivated the audience. "This movie is hilarious. I laughed so hard my stomach hurts." Viewers shared their experiences on social media, and the movie's box office soared, even becoming a surprise hit of the year. "How did we make so much money again?" Mike couldn't believe his eyes as he looked at the financial reports. "It seems we need to come up with even crazier ideas," Jack said with resignation. Facing an ever-growing pile of money, Jack and Mike felt unprecedented pressure. Every crazy spending plan they tried backfired, turning into an unexpected success. "We need to think of something else," Jack said to Mike, exasperated. "Every time we try to lose money, we end up making more." "Maybe we could open a store that sells impractical luxury items," Mike suggested. They decided to open a store called Useless Luxuries, selling the most absurd items imaginable: diamond-studded potato peelers, solid gold trash cans, decorative fishing rods, and more. They thought no one would buy such things, but the store became incredibly popular, attracting many curious customers. "This is a vicious cycle," Jack said in despair. "We need an ultimate plan." Despite every crazy plan turning into an unexpected success, Jack and Mike did not give up. They were determined to find even more outlandish ways to spend money. Whether they could spend $10 billion within 6 months became their greatest challenge. As time passed, the pressure mounted, but each failure only strengthened their resolve. As time passed, Jack and Mike's plans to spend money became increasingly outlandish. Every time they looked at their bank balance, the numbers seemed to grow rather than shrink, and the pressure mounted. Desperate to spend $10 billion as quickly as possible, they decided to implement a series of even more ridiculous schemes. First, Jack decided to throw a lavish wedding without a bride. The wedding was held at the town's most luxurious hotel, with all the residents of Silver Lake invited. The venue was extravagantly decorated, no expense spared, and a famous band was even hired to entertain the guests. "Everyone, please enjoy the food and drinks." Jack stood on the stage, raising a glass to the crowd. "Today is a special day for me and, my bride." The guests were initially puzzled, but soon the sumptuous feast and dazzling performances captured their attention. The wedding cost a fortune, but the outcome was unexpectedly positive. Everyone had a wonderful time. Jack felt both proud and frustrated, knowing the event hadn't spent nearly enough of the money. "It looks like the wedding didn't help us spend enough money," Jack said to Mike. "We need to come up with an even crazier idea." Mike's eyes lit up with inspiration. "We could host a world-class sporting event, but make the rules so complex and absurd that no one will want to participate." They decided to organize an extreme jump rope championship with rules that included contestants wearing outrageous costumes, jumping rope through an obstacle course, and answering nonsensical questions along the way. Jack and Mike were sure no one would want to join, so they poured a large sum into props and costumes. On the day of the event, Silver Lake residents gathered to watch, and the atmosphere was buzzing with excitement. Unexpectedly, the competition attracted many participants, intrigued by the unique format. Not only did the event not lose money, but its uniqueness and humor caught media attention, bringing in even more profits. "We keep making money. This is a vicious cycle," Jack said, shaking his head in frustration. "I think we're out of ideas, Jack," Mike admitted. "Our spending plans are getting more ridiculous, but every time we end up making more money." Jack and Mike found themselves in an unprecedented predicament. Each outlandish plan turned into a success, increasing their funds instead of decreasing them. They tried various methods, building giant sand sculptures on the beach, buying an entire deserted island, even attempting to send an ad into space, but every endeavor resulted in unexpected success. "It seems the only thing we can do is keep going with these crazy plans," Jack sighed. "Maybe a miracle will happen at the last moment." Despite every plan turning into a profitable venture, Jack and Mike did not give up. They were determined to find even more absurd ways to spend money, and whether they could spend $10 billion in 6 months remained their greatest challenge. As time went on, the pressure increased, but each failure only strengthened their resolve. Time flew by, and with only a month left before the 6-month deadline, Jack and Mike were still far from spending the $10 billion. The two sat in Jack's luxurious mansion, pulling their hair out, having tried every crazy plan they could think of, but they were still far from their goal. "We've tried every insane plan," Jack said, frustrated. "What haven't we thought of yet?" Mike pondered for a moment and suddenly had an idea. "I have an even crazier plan. We could let people buy fat insurance for $1. If they lose weight within a month, we'll pay them $10,000 for every kilogram they lose." "That's a brilliant idea." Jack clapped his hands in excitement. "Not only can we spend money quickly, but we can also promote everyone's health." Immediately, they launched the Fat Insurance campaign in the town. The news spread quickly, and Silver Lake residents flocked to buy the insurance. For just $1, they had the chance to earn a substantial payout by losing weight within a month. The campaign sparked a fitness craze throughout the town. Residents began to exercise vigorously. Some took up running, others joined gyms, some attended yoga classes, and many enrolled in weight loss boot camps. The whole town was filled with a positive, energetic atmosphere, with everyone working hard to shed those extra pounds. Jack and Mike also joined the fitness movement, exercising with the residents every day. They not only monitored everyone's progress, but also enjoyed this healthy and active lifestyle. A month later, the campaign ended. Jack and Mike tallied the weight loss results of all participants and found that many had achieved significant weight loss. According to their promise, Jack needed to pay out a huge sum in compensation. This final massive payout finally helped them spend the remaining inheritance. "We did it," Jack exclaimed, looking at the now empty bank account. "Yes, Jack, we finally succeeded," Mike said, filled with a sense of accomplishment. "And we also helped everyone get healthier." Jack officially inherited the massive fortune, but the experience had taught him and Mike the true meaning of wealth. They decided to use part of the money to help the town's residents improve their living conditions, and another part to support charitable causes, helping those in need. "This experience showed me what true wealth really is," Jack said thoughtfully. "Money is just a tool. True happiness comes from the love and support we share with others." Mike nodded in agreement. "Exactly. We've gone through so many crazy adventures, and finally found what we truly want in life." So Jack and Mike returned to their simple lives, continuing to run their bakery. While the shop was no longer as lavish, it was filled with warmth and a sense of community.